Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be analyzing the poem Hand Me Down Halloween, written by Natalie Diaz. And this poem was taken from the collection of poems When My Brother Was an Aztec. And here it might be a good idea for you viewers to just pause it on the page, take a couple minutes to read the poem. Okay, the first thing I want to note in this poem is the light versus dark imagery that persists throughout the entire poem. Specifically on page 7, Diaz writes, "Mothers gathered their white kids from the dark. My dark mother gathered empty cans, while I waited to gather my white kid." The use of this imagery sets up for Diaz to kind of use her story as an allegory, whereas throughout this poem, Native Americans are being oppressed by white kids or white families. And this is certainly a comment on imperialism and how the white man seems to always find a way to oppress minorities. Nonetheless, I wouldn't call this poem an ode to domination, especially when you consider the ending of the poem and how Diaz beats the shit out of that white kid, and she seems to get away with it, which just kind of gives the reader hope that she's not going to be oppressed anymore. Gives hope to minorities, and it is very much subversive in nature, this poem, for that reason. And I think the pathos adds to that. We look at still page 7. He was the skeleton walking past my house, a glowing skull and ribs. I ran and tackled his white bones in the street. His candy spilled out like a million pinto beans. Asphalt tore my brown red skin knees. I hit him harder and harder, whiter and harder. He cried for his mama. And there seems to be a sort of liberation in the words that Diaz writes here, which I think adds to the subversive aspect of the poem.